Welcome, one and all amazing agents from across the country. Today is Thursday, July 26, 2018, and this is Mastermind call number 187. First order of business, congratulations to we're calling it our WOW, or the winner of the week. Isn't that a clever acronym? Our WOW winner last week was Joyce Arnston. Joyce, if you're on the call, your account executive, Darcy, is going to call you back after the call, and you can let her know whether you want free leads or a credit towards next month's account. By the way, Joyce, if you are on the call, when I told Darcy you won, she was thrilled. She said you have a great attitude, great work ethic, and she was really, really happy that you were our winner. So Darcy will be in touch with you to see what form you want that that reward to take. And for all of you that have no idea what I'm talking about a month ago, we decided to start rewarding our subscribers that are willing to step up and share success stories. It gives everybody else on the call, I think, inspiration and great ideas, and kind of hope that their turn's coming soon. So we appreciate all of you willing to do it. And again, if you have one to share, just hit *6 and hit 1. Right now we have 2 people in the queue. Tim, are you on the call yet or no?
I am.
Yes, sir. Anything from our semi-beloved CEO? Anything you want to share with the group?
I know. I refuse to speak to you if you don't call me beloved.
All right, our beloved CEO. What would you like to share with the group?
I have nothing whatsoever to share.
well, that was and a great summer so far. We've been excited about all the good feedback we're getting, and obviously business continues to grow. I think the coolest thing I would say is that you guys that are on this call, you're part of something that isn't taking a summer break, that isn't taking a big long vacation in the summer, and probate business obviously continues unabated, and it's a business that really doesn't have a lot of seasonality to it. So this is the time to be making hay while the sun shines. That's about all I have. All right, well said. Chad, what would you like to share with the group?
I don't have much from my wheelhouse. Just remind everybody that next Wednesday is the first Wednesday of the month, so we'll have our probate role play call at 2 p.m. Eastern. So Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on this number. You'll get an email the day before and the hour before. But if you haven't been to one of those, be sure and join us. They're always surprisingly unique and very helpful to everybody. So.
Excellent. I've had several questions this week, Chad, and I get this a lot. Well, first of all, for those of you that have not been on the role play call, it's kind of like Jeopardy. This is an open forum. The role play call, we try to keep everything in the form of a role play, and we let Chad, our coach, handle it. And so far, he hasn't been stumped. We're waiting for that. I'm sure it'll come eventually, but so far nobody's been able to stump him. But I've had several questions this week with people that had ISAs or team members, and they were getting ready to do Tom's orientation call, and they said, is there anybody that can, give us an idea of what to say when you call these people? And I always tell them we have, what do we have, about 30 hours of role play calls now that are archived, Chad?
Yeah,
is that right? Is it around 30?
33 calls now. So.
Yeah, and if you would tell everybody, I gotta learn myself where to find this, but you can put your mouse over the calls, and it'll tell you the topics that were covered on the call. So if you're looking for what do I say to get started, you'll probably find 5 or 6 examples of that on the calls. And if you would just tell everybody again where to find those calls, I think it's important that we keep repeating that.
Yeah, so if you're still working on your confidence or your sales language and you want to go, the best thing you can probably do is go listen to the role play calls, because we cover a variety of different starts to the conversation, handling objections, all those things. So 2 places that we archive it right now. On the public archive is in our private Facebook group. So if you're not a member, it's All the Leads Mastermind. And you can request access in there. If you use the search bar on the left, if you just put in role play, it will bring all 33 of the role play calls to the top. And what Jim was referencing, you'll see bullet points of what the conversation was or what the role play scenarios were during that particular call. If you're a subscriber, you can just simply click up in the menu, education and training, conference calls, access call archive, and that's laid out in kind of calendar format, so you can go by month. You're going to see 4 mastermind calls and 1 role play call each month. And the same thing, there's a summary of the call there, and you can listen to it there. And soon, we're producing an archive right now that will actually be searchable. So you'll be able to search, if you're looking for prospecting attorney role play, you can type that in, and it will actually bring up the appropriate mastermind or role play call that will help you out. So over the next probably 60 days, we should have that live, where you'll have a video archive and everything. All the content will be searchable to an extent. So, but for now,
excellent. Then I won't have to keep asking you where it's at either. I'll be able to find it.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not the most technologically savvy of my partners. I think that would be safe to say. Nobody would argue with that. Tom, what would you like to share with the group?
I think just reinforce what Chad just did. We're here to help, and if you got any questions or things, please just let us know. You can always contact us, support@alltheleads.com, or if you're in your account area, under support, there's a contact us. Just be specific on what you're looking for. We track those items and then make sure we get the appropriate people to get back to you on a timely basis. So we want you to be successful, and that we're here, all of our team is here to help you. That's it.
Excellent. Yeah, we keep adding new support team members, and the last time I looked, I think our average response time was somewhere around 10 minutes. So, not saying we'll always get back to you in 10 minutes, but the appropriate person will get back to you quickly if you're real specific about what you need help with. All right, well, enough of all of that. You guys have heard from us. Let's hear from you. We have 2 in the queue now. We have plenty of room for others. Guys, please get in there early. We don't want these calls to go an hour and a half like they have a couple times. We want to try to respect your time and make it right around an hour if possible. So if you do have something you're going to be sharing or commenting, hit *6 and hit 1, and please do it now rather than wait till later in the call. And having said that, the first up this week is phone number ending in 9931. You're up first.
All right, perfect. Hi, my name is Marcia. I'm actually in Atlanta. I actually signed up yesterday. I took the approach of I paid for leads that were like about 2 months old, so May and June.
Great.
And I received the Excel spreadsheet yesterday as soon as I did it, and I just kind of, for my own, my left brain, whatever, I just kind of looked through and pulled up some houses, and what I saw was that maybe only 2 or 3 had been listed, and that was from like May, June. So I was like, oh, okay. But my
That's
question
great.
is, yeah, I know. So my question is, I'm a realtor, but I'm also an investor. And so I'm really looking at this more so, if they want to list, it's fine. But I'm also looking to add to our investment portfolio. But my question is, I know a lot of people don't really care for realtors. So all these letters, are you actually suggesting that realtors put their real estate brokerage company name and all those type of things? I just know a lot of people, for whatever reason, their own personal reasons, they just don't like dealing with the realtors. And if they see a big, I'm just going to say a Keller Williams sign or, whatever, logo, sometimes it just totally turns them off.
Excuse me for interrupting you. Are you on a speakerphone?
Actually, I'm in my earpiece because in Georgia I'm driving, so I have to have my earpiece.
Okay, that's all right. I think we could hear what you said. It was just slightly muffled, but that's okay. We don't want you to get a ticket. I think we heard you well enough.
Can you hear me better now?
That's considerably better. Thank you.
Okay. Do I need to start? Do I need to ask the question again?
No. I think you heard her, right, Chad?
Actually, my headset cut out, and I missed part of what her question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Would you please?
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So basically, my question was that I know a lot of people are really turned off by realtors. I'm a realtor and I'm also an investor. Do you suggest that we're putting we're putting our logo, our Keller Williams or whatever company that we're with. Is that like one of your best practices in terms of putting that on the letters that we send out? Because like I said, a lot of people are totally turned off by realtors.
Well, everybody's opinion is different on this, and for me personally, I mean, if you're mentioning anything that can be tracked back as a licensed activity, then you need to make sure you have the compliant information. So what I do is in the footer of my letter, I'll put in the brokerage name, address, and phone number in in light gray, so it's not prominent. It's down at the footer of the letter. And so when I first started this, I would go in the door as an investor, and then when I realized that it was like their best service would be as a realtor, I would try to change hats, and I would lose rapport. So then I started going in as a realtor, and then I would try to change to investor. What I learned from that, and what we teach now, is kind of the hub and the wheel concept. So don't be a realtor, don't be an investor. Be a probate specialist or a probate expert, and focus on people, not real estate. And then you'll naturally, one of the first parts of the conversation, if you focus on people and problems, one of their first and the biggest problem 90% of the time is real estate. So how do we get the house empty? How do we get it cleaned out? How do we make sure we sell it for the most amount of money? So you'll very quickly find yourself in the conversation you're wanting to have, but you greatly differentiate yourself from everybody else. So just kind of like you'll have to decide for yourself like what you're comfortable with your title being. But as we see more and more competition in this space, it's becoming, to me, it's more effective with the people I'm coaching if they stay away from those labels and just be something unique. So probate expert, certified probate expert, probate specialist. And then that creates curiosity, and you don't end up with the reputation of the last person they had a bad impression of.
Okay, okay, all right. So, okay, not smacking your big logo up at the top. Okay, I got it. Oh, your real estate logo.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
And I loved your comment. We hear that so often that you went back 2-3 months and in virtually none of them were sold yet. We hear that a lot. We tell that to all of our agents. These leads season well. In most markets, they season very well. So, every once in a while, go back 2 or 3 months and call those people again. Some of them will be sold, but the ones that aren't, you're going to have absolutely no competition, and they're going to be close, much closer to being ready to doing something. So that's great that you learned that right from the start. And welcome aboard. Anything else we can help you with?
I just have one more question. I am looking to open up a market that right now that you guys have absolutely no one in, right? So it truly is a blue ocean. My question is, because you have no one in that particular market, what is the turnaround time in terms of getting those leads? Because there's zero. There's nothing going, there's nobody in the market.
Yeah, and generally it's around 2 weeks. Sometimes it'll be sooner, sometimes it'll take a little bit longer, but if you weren't a subscriber and this was the case, you'd instantly get access to all the coaching, the training, the videos, and the letters and the system, and then generally allow 2 weeks more or less. Would you agree with that, Tim? Is that about right?
Well, I was going to say it depends. I mean, I would say you're always safe to say less than 30 days. And even that, in some cases, we run into problems where there are court access fees, and we got to go through hoops to get into the courts. But if it's a county that's adjacent to one that we're already getting, generally we can shoot the same collector to that county, and we can get it done pretty quickly. It really depends on the county, and if you'll just get with Jim and let him know the county you want to work with, we'll take a look at it and get you a more definitive answer. But generally, if it's close by where you are, knowing your market as I do, it's going to probably be within a 2-week time frame. It just depends on what the price
it's about a 4-hour. It's about a 4-hour drive from where I am right now. So it's a totally different county. Yeah.
Sure. Why don't you take it offline, get with Jim, and let's see what we can find out, because we may have other stuff going on nearby there, and we'll work with you because we love working with our customers.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We only have one other person in the queue, guys. So jump in. We need a win of the week. Bill Risto, if you're in, please jump on. I know you have a great success story. We have a huge turnout. There's got to be other people that have questions. Nothing is too basic. I promise you there's somebody else on the call that probably has the same question you do. So jump in there, hit *6 and hit 1. There you go. I coaxed one more person in. Next up is phone number ending in, it looks like 8224. You're up next.
Hey, thanks. So I have a couple process questions. I'm a new subscriber. I actually just finished up Chad's Mastery program yesterday. Great program, by the way. Thought day 3 was pretty awesome, very helpful. But my question is, I sent, my mail went out this Monday. I haven't received my piece back at home yet. So I'm assuming it'll show up today, tomorrow. As far as call time, I just want to confirm the assumption is to call based on the recommended MIT schedule, next Wednesday, Thursday. Is that your best recommendation to follow up on the mailings?
Yeah, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are about equally increase your chance of conversion.
Okay.
So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 10, 4 to 6. And a lot of people are successful throwing in like a Saturday or a Sunday block for the people they're not reaching during the week.
Okay. Thank you. The Chad, the day 3 session email and recording, you're going to send that out still?
Something must have happened. I sent it out at 4:33 yesterday, but you were the third person that told me you didn't get it. So I'll resend it to everybody when we get off this call. Because something must have happened.
That was the goal. And then I guess the last piece is, so I tried to figure out, I know there's other folks working in my market, and I'm trying to figure out how diligent they are. Done online searches, look for websites, look for promotions that, pulled records on, who's listing properties for the past 9, 12 months, and there's not a lot of consistency. So what would you recommend as far as the best research to check in to make sure I stay ahead of the competition in the market?
Well, the easiest thing to do is get your first appointment. And then ask, once you've gotten them to sign an agreement with you, ask them if you can have all the other mail pieces. And that will very quickly show you which realtors, investors, whoever in your market, who's doing it and what exactly they're doing. And most sellers will give you that. So when they see value in what you do, they don't intend on calling anyone else. So at a minimum, I would say, do you mind if I snap pictures of this? I'd like to meet these folks and see if we can't work together. But ideally, you want to take the letters with you.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
The other thing you can do, and I think we talked about this in Mastery this week. I had so many conversations, but you can go into your MLS and create, based on the seller name field and based on the private remarks field, if you search certain key terms like et al's, estate, administrator, maybe even probate or inherited, those words that are commonly associated, there's obviously not a probate field, so you have to be kind of creative and look for those keywords. But what you might find from a realtor standpoint, if you run that MLS search, you see the same listing agent coming up over and over that's consistent with the language in the private remarks, then that's a good indication there's somebody in your market that's doing it. It's actually really rare that if you can't find it, it's probably because they're not there. Like most probate listings go to a real estate agent because they're in that person's sphere of influence. Like they were in that person's SOI. So they go to church together, they have soccer together, things like that. There aren't that many people on the brokerage side that are proactively reaching out to these folks. So don't be disappointed if you don't find it. That's a good indication if you can't find any consistency or patterns of one listing agent getting them all.
Yeah, I had actually done that, and I was kind of shocked that there was no consistency, nor were there a lot of listings, using the public remarks, agent remarks, of that nature. So I'm going to take another shot at it to make sure I don't miss anything, but I was shocked that
try using the seller name field. So when you set up your criteria, go to seller name field contains, and then your keywords, not matches, but contains. So that way, if they've typed it a different way, and you may even use misspellings, and as some of your keywords, just try to drag in as much as you can for the first, at the first level, and then start to narrow it down. But probably there's probably not anyone specializing in your market. Everyone's just getting it because they know people.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, sir. Is that anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
I guess not. Okay, awesome. Thank you for participating. We're looking for that win of the week. Bill Risto, where are you? We got 2 more people in the queue. Hit *6 and hit 1. And well, that was strange. Sorry about that, guys. My computer blinked, and the people in the queue got dropped. Okay, one of them came back already. Ellen Griffin, would you hit *6 and hit 1 again, please? You got knocked out of the queue. There you are. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That was just a electrical issue here. Let me try the next person up. Is phone number ending in 9708. You're up next.
Well, that would be me.
Yeah, it's you. Welcome. Thank you for participating.
I'm sorry about that. I'm new. So this is Heather Vest. I was wanting to know about if anyone has experience of use Fly Dial with using any of the phone numbers, or reverse engineering, finding people through Facebook or.
Yes, so we've
sure
had some experience with both. I mean, with ringless voicemail, the first thing I would say is be really aware of the Telephone Consumer Protection Act and what your liability is. So you technically are supposed to have explicit written consent in order to text somebody, and the exception is if you're a government or nonprofit. So just understand your risk. The system that I like best is it's called voice casting, and the parent company is Voice Logic. The reason I like their system better is it actually delivers to landlines as long as it's a server-based voicemail versus an answering machine, which who has those anymore, right?
Yeah. So
your deliverability rates are much higher. The cost is more, but the value is a lot higher too. So if you're interested in that, you can speak with the gentleman that helps set our folks up. His name is Steve Lindo. He's the vice president of sales over there. But Steve Lindo with Voice Logic, and the product is called Voice Casting.
Voice Casting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as far as Facebook, I've not ran a lot of ad sets, but I have done the audience work. So in my testing with uploading probate data, I usually come up with an 85 to 86% match rate based on the PR's first name, last name, and zip code. So that means that I can find the majority of the personal representatives on Facebook using a custom audience, but I actually haven't ran the ads to know what really converts. For me, the best advertising, best money, and I average about a 10-to-1 return on Facebook ads, which Facebook is really proud to say that most people get 3-to-1. What has been most effective is what most people would probably think is, the least professional. So the more casual and real you are, like in a video, the better it seems to work. So, even if you're pulling out your phone, standing in front of a house, talking about, just telling a story of how you help the family. And you want to make sure in the first 2 to 4 seconds, there's text that comes across the screen that identifies them. So are you an administrator of an estate? are you going through the stress that our other clients have? Things like that to hook them in, because you've got the human attention span is 8 seconds. To get engagement, you've got to get them in the first 4 seconds, but when you get to the end of the 8, you've got to hold them. So I would recommend, the audience is kind of the easy part. If you learn to do a custom audience, you can upload that. As far as the content, I would do something that was really relevant to your market and something that was really eye-catching, because you've got to interrupt them first. So maybe hold a selfie stick out and turn in a circle while you're making the video in the front yard of a house, and then stop at the 2-second mark and start talking. Things like that really grab people's attention. And I wish I had results. I just haven't taken the time to actually test it out. But that's what I think will work. You can get an 80% plus match on your custom audience, and you may run like an ABC video. I strongly suggest video ads. Photo ads are kind of a waste of money. But
I'm definitely going video. I've been doing a lot of Facebook Live. A lot of people really love that. I mean, even just the COI, that seems to be the thing that people are really attracted to. And but I'm not. I was just trying to, while we've been on the call, I've been trying to do, trying to reverse engineer phone numbers off people, or even trying to search their names. I guess I'm coming across generic enough names. I'm not finding those specific people or not. So is that how you're creating the custom audience?
You're not a subscriber of ours?
I am.
So which phone numbers are you looking for?
Well, I was using the phone numbers to look through Facebook to find those specific people.
Oh, you're trying to match. Yeah, that's pretty tough. Not many people are trusting enough to put their cell phone number in Facebook. But if you, like, your match field should be PR first name, PR last name, PR zip code. And typically, and you can even take it down, like you can do it at the city level, but I take it down to the zip code level. And that's where I'm getting the 86% match rate. And there's something there. So Facebook is inconsistent. Sometimes when you upload a custom audience like that, it'll show you the count within 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it never updates. Like it'll show you that it's an active audience, but it won't actually show you your match rate. There's no one can really explain that. And Facebook, they're like, it's part of their secret sauce. So for whatever reason, on some audiences, they don't actually show you how many matched up. But when you get how many leads do you get per month?
I've gotten, last month I got 100, and this month I've gotten 88. So
so I mean, $100 a month will go a long ways on running an ad to that an audience that small. And your message can be super specific because your targeting is really focused. So you can, you know exactly who's going to see the ad.
Well, I mean, I'm just looking at those people and looking even more like generic of like the city, and I'm not finding anything. And so, and I just don't know if I'm just happen to be coming across those, which is fine. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, they have addresses in here and everything. I mean, I've done some old-fashioned stuff, which is actually mail them a card and something handwritten. So, and followed up with phone calls, but haven't had anything yet. So. But I'm okay with long leads. I mean,
and especially, I want to say this for everybody that's listening that doesn't have the experience with Facebook that sounds like you have. Internet marketing and email marketing in this space is great if you're already great at it. So I would much rather see most of you take your time to get in the car and drive attorneys' offices, because you're going to see a 10 times return on that. Like one attorney can bring you hundreds of deals over your career. It can take you, I mean, I've put in my 10,000 hours on internet marketing. That's why I know it. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh my God, that sounds attractive, I would encourage you to start with the attorneys. And if you still find you have too much time on your hands, then come back to the digital marketing side of it.
Too much time? That's not. The positive part of this is that I'm noticing. The positive part is I noticed that you guys do sort them by attorneys, that I can see who's getting most of the stuff. So that's where I feel like the positive part is. So donut at an attorney's office, like hit up an attorney's office every day, one different attorney every day with box of donuts. Is that what you're suggesting?
Sure. So, I mean, that's literally what we have people do. And I would say 50% of the people that we coach and challenge to go do that actually do it. And of those 50%, 100% of them end up with attorney relationships and referrals almost immediately. I've coached people in like extremely rural markets all the way up to like Manhattan to go do this, and it has worked so far in every case. The challenge is getting out of your comfort zone and doing it consistently, where it actually becomes a referral system versus, well, one time I did that. And if you can do that consistently, like if you set up an attorney prospecting block in your calendar, and maybe it's one day a month you visit 3 attorneys, but at the end of the year you've had 36 conversations, the majority of the attorneys in town. So over time, so I would say that, if the direct mail gets opened, the nature of the mail we send is, we pretty much guarantee we get open mail. Our phone numbers, we're tracking about 95% accuracy and contact rates. So we pretty much can't promise 100% coverage, but between the phone calls and direct mail, they will have seen your message. So digital marketing isn't going to, completely change your campaign and end up getting you 20% conversion rates. However, attorneys, like having those inbound referrals, when people aren't responding to your marketing message, you're getting referrals. And when people, when you're not getting referrals, you've got marketing. So it's a two-pronged approach. You're kind of running a whole separate campaign versus just another medium of marketing to the same group.
Okay.
And the one thing, what I was going to add also, it doesn't necessarily have to be donuts. We've had several subscribers share with us that they took the really nice trifold brochure that we have on our website, that they had it printed, and they bring a stack of those brochures with them. And we had a lady a few weeks ago that said that the attorney, she went back in the office and the attorney had actually gotten a little card holder and put their brochures up on the front counter and was calling her back to bring more back. So, anything you can get in front of them while you're there to let them know that you're going to take anything non-related off of their plate, and especially if it's something they can mail or hand to their clients if they're seeing them personally, to let them know that, that they have someone to handle all this personal stuff. It's, don't just show up with donuts, nothing wrong with donuts, but a good marketing piece that you can drop off is really valuable with the attorneys.
Where do I find the marketing piece on your website?
So we just posted a new one yesterday that kind of has a graphic of the hub concept that we always talk about. It hasn't been uploaded to the website, so I'm going to point you to 2 places. In our Facebook group or Facebook page, you can see a post from Alyssa yesterday with the sample with the new graphic. All of the other trifolds that we have, the samples, if you go in the subscriber portal, if you jump up to Mailbox Motivator, marketing campaign setup, at the bottom all the way at the bottom on the right-hand column, those are the trifold brochure samples. And at this point, we probably have, there's dozens of different variations. So we can design it to look and say exactly what you want it to. You can just, call the main line and ask for Alyssa, or email support, and she'll reach out to you to help you get what you need.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well, we have 2 more in the queue. Next up is a familiar name. Ellen, you're up next.
Hi, guys.
Welcome.
I saw that new brochure with the hub on it. Phenomenal. Can't wait to get mine. And 2, in my market area, I'm in an extremely competitive market area, and there's not one brokerage that dominates, but there is one brokerage, Kennedy Wilson, that all they do is probate, and they do auctions, and they charge the buyer like a 5% premium, and they have their own purchase agreement that the buyer has to sign, and it's done in an auction at the site. And I was wondering, because I kind of like to do that, but I don't know enough about maybe what I can and cannot put in my own purchase agreement. I don't know what my liability is if I charge the buyer a 5%. I don't know how to do that auction. Do you guys have any place you can? I imagine it's state by state. So if you guys don't have anything, I get it. But is there any place you can point me to do more research so that I can create a very specific probate auction environment?
I think only your broker can answer that question for you. So state law is one thing, but brokerage policies are another. And if nobody has an auctioneer's license within the brokerage, it might not be an option for you. Most of the people that do what you're explaining, they start out in the estate sale business, and then they realize if they just had an auctioneer's license, they could also sell the house once it's empty. That's how most people get into that industry. You're coming at it from, I already know how to do the house, like how do I handle the auction. But I think only your broker can answer that.
So there needs to be an auction license for real estate.
And as far as I know, each state does have an auctioneer's license.
Okay, all right. I'll look into that, and I'll definitely get with my broker. Okay. If
your brokerage doesn't want to do it, the other thing you can do is align yourself with a company that does have an auctioneer and does have systems and processes in place. I would look toward the commercial real estate space. In most markets, like you can find commercial real estate companies that have done like portfolio, like tax sales for the county, bankruptcy sales, like that are. They have a good buyers list of single-family home auction buyers. And you could just say, hey, listen, when I need an auctioneer, let's split these 50-50. And then you can still include it in your marketing message. You're just making auctions another spoke in your wheel. So you have brokerage, you have investment, and now you have auctions. So you can handle the real estate in 3 different ways. And they're no different than any other partner. The difference here is you're going to have to pay for that because they're going to expect a heavy referral commission for doing all the work. So if your broker says no, I would go still. I think it's a great idea, and I think it's going to allow you to be, you can have a broader conversation, and you'll have more conversations, and you'll have a competitive edge against that other brokerage. So I would still find somebody, even if I was told no, I would still find a way to do it.
you know I'm going to, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind.
Okay. And Tim and Tom, I sent you guys an email. I'm asking you to call me or respond. I sent it on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I lost every single email from July 5th to July 25th. So my email is erased. Yeah, and I sent all kinds of emails to the attorneys, and now I don't have a copy of any of that. I'm freaked out. My eye is twitching. So Tim and Tom, if you could give me a call, I would appreciate it. That's it for me.
Thank you, as always. Great content. Thanks for sharing, Ellen. We only have one more person in the queue, guys. We got room, we got time for several more. Just hit *6 and hit 1. We still don't have our win of the week. I don't think we do. I guess Mr. Risto will have to wait till next week. He had a great story of a big sale, but Bill Risto, if you're on, hit *6 and hit 1. Otherwise, anybody else on the call that has a win they'd like to share, hit *6 and hit 1. Next up is phone number ending in 1616. You're up next.
Hi there, it's Mary. And
hey, Mary.
As the saying goes, the devil's always in the details. So I have a Boomtown account, and so I am so regimented in making calls and setting up follow-ups and never missing anything. And I did not want to move all the leads into Boomtown because I didn't want them to get washed away with all my others. I consider all the leads to be the more important calls. So I like to focus on those first. Yet I'm having real trouble with the CRM system. because I can't get rid of bad phone numbers. I can't, I'm going through a list and maybe I call one person and talk to them, and then the next lead, I don't reach them, and I want to set them up for an immediate call the following day or later that day. And it's not quite working, and I was wondering if you had any good suggestions on how to make that system work a little bit better.
So I'm assuming you have used the option status tab to have you played with the follow-up
but the
tool that's
option
built
status tab only says follow-up. It doesn't let you say when to follow up or what the follow-up is. You can't say follow-up, it's now time to send out the second letter, or I need to recall that person because I didn't reach them.
Okay, so the easiest thing, so if you open up an individual lead record, you'll see the first tab at the bottom is Add Note.
Yeah,
you can
I know.
Put in a lead.
Right, but you know what? I found it cumbersome. I find that I'm calling the same bad numbers because I'd have to scroll so far down in the notes to find that I already called that number and it was bad. And so I've gotten to the point where I only use the notes for something really detailed, but it's really hard to use notes for follow-ups and bad numbers and so forth because I end up with like so many notes.
So this CRM is a very light and limited CRM for a reason, because we want to make sure people are using it. So the easiest way to accomplish what you're doing is when you open an individual lead record, you're going to see at the top the personal representative's name, and just to the right of that, there's an edit button, and this was added just a couple of months ago. So if you click on edit, then that's going to allow you to edit any of the information here. So you can delete those phone numbers, the ones that if it's a bad number, you could replace their name with bad number and leave the number there. Personally, I think if you know it's a bad number, just go ahead and delete it out. We do keep a copy of your original lead file, so any of the edits that you make here are specific to your account. If you ever have to restore something, we do still have that, so you're not really deleting it permanently. So I would say that it sounds like the best practice for you, click on edit, delete the phone numbers you don't want, and then use the option status, the status rating. If you call them if they're rated follow-up, and then you under that you click follow-up date, then you'll get an email, when that day comes around, like, hey, today you need to call that person. So that's as close as I think you can get to what you're doing. I mean, we're never going to be as robust as a Boomtown or a Sync, because that's not the point of this system. This was to create a really simple way for folks to prospect these lists.
Is there a simple way to upload these lists into Boomtown?
Yeah, so
or do I have to
out,
put them one? Sorry.
No, you can do an import. So when you're out on the list view, like when you're inside of a single month, in the very center of the menu, you'll see download and print. Now, you need to be careful which one you choose. If you're using the option status tab to opt people out, then the top three options, there's download for mail, download for dialer, download for email. Those are going to opt, like anyone who's been opted out with those radio buttons will not be in your export. So if you want to do it that way, you can export with the opt-outs already deleted, or you can just click download all, and it'll download in a CSV. And the CSV is what Boomtown is going to want to see when you go to do your lead import. And so you just upload the CSV, map your fields into your Boomtown fields, and click upload, and you'll be done.
Okay, perfect. Maybe that's the better way to do it, and then just tag them all in Boomtown as all the leads.
Yeah, and you could add a column to it that's lead source, and then just fill probate all the way through on every cell in that column. And then when you update, then Boomtown will say, you can map lead source to lead source, and it equals probate. So that way you can always pull a quick list of just your probate. When I did this in Top Producer, and I will say this, I don't recommend doing it this way because I did it this way for 2 years. And when this CRM came along, I was like, thank God. because what I ended up doing is I just like we do, I tracked it at the list level, so it was the month and year. So it would be like probate. Actually, I did so the lead type, the county, and the date. So when I named a file for an import, it would be probate Roanoke City or Roanoke County, June 2018. The next month would be probate Roanoke City, July 2018. And that way, even inside of top producer, or in your case, Boomtown, you'll still have everything sorted at the list level, because it's important. It's important to know which list they came from. If you're just putting them in as probate leads, eventually you're gonna have 10,000 leads in one pile.
Right.
And you might be able to sort by added date, but it's better if you keep your list as you do the imports. Just have discipline and have a system. And I suggest the probate county, month, year is kind of the system I settled in on.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Excellent, Mary. I can't resist commenting on your initial comments. So you actually think this system of contacting people that are the executors of the estate and probably inherited property, you think that's a little bit better than leads that just happen to visit a website that may or may not want to do something someday?
Absolutely. They're much more targeted, right? I mean, we already know that they need help.
Exactly. No, I just had to. That's good to hear, because that's exactly the way we feel. It's really apples and oranges compared to almost all the other lead companies out there. How many people that visit a website actually ever do something, or are they just shopping? So, yeah. So thank you for that comment. I wanted to reiterate it, and we appreciate your participation. We have 2 more people in the queue, and that'll probably bring us up to the top of the hour. Next up is phone number ending in 4800. You're up next.
Hello, hi. My name is Aline, and I appreciate. Thanks so much for the call. I actually just jumped on, but I wasn't able to hear before. But I'm glad that I'm able to get a chance to ask a question. So,
sure.
Excuse me. I'm completely brand new at this. We just started our first round of being on, in a county, and we decided to do it with the 3 letters, to do the campaign with the 3 letters and all 3 calls. And after the first letter went out, I got a call right away. And the first call that I got was somebody yelling at me and getting very upset that I'm, what I'm doing, and I should find a different profession. And at first I was like taken aback by then. I said, oh no, what am I doing? And then literally like the next day, I got another call from the letter of somebody calling me and saying that they want to meet with me. They got my letter and they really want to discuss the estate of her mother and so on and so forth. So it was complete opposite sides of the spectrum, and it set things in a different perspective. So I'm actually, my question is particularly this person who happens to have started the whole probate process, but yet she's in a situation where her mother went into a nursing home and was not able to keep up with the mortgage payments. So was defaulted on the mortgage payments for years and years, and then she passed on. The house was vacant, and now the value of the house is not really what it's worth. And I'm in a, she's looking to me. I advised her to speak to, I gave her an attorney to speak with. And the first attorney that she spoke with had said to her, she pushed off a sheriff's sale, and now is in front, and now is another sheriff. She has a sheriff's sale due on August 2nd.
Eileen, forgive me for interrupting.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Forgive me for interrupting you. I think what you meant to say was the value of the home is not what's owed on it, correct? Is that what you're saying? It's
right,
upside down?
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I just wanted to clarify that.
Or it's exactly the same, meaning that there's no great profit that's going to be made from this from the person from the personal representative at this point.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I said to her I want to help her in her best interest. I met with her. She actually signed a listing agreement. She wanted to move forward. We were going to speak to the attorney, and I don't know if I did this backwards actually, but she wanted to speak to the attorneys to postpone the sheriff's sale and then put it on the market and see if we, the highest and best price that we can get for the home.
Sure.
And the attorneys had recommended to her that after, a second sheriff, now being in front of a second sheriff's sale, that, meaning that she had already postponed it once, that it wouldn't be advisable to move forward and to postpone it a second time.
I'm assuming you did not have a buyer, right, when you got the sheriff's sale postponed?
I didn't do the first postponement.
Oh, you weren't involved. You weren't.
No, I was
not
gotcha. Involved. This is literally like not even a week. I just got the call from her like Saturday evening.
Well, if you'll allow me to shamelessly plug my favorite short sale person, my wife has a short sale company. She's done over 2,000 of these.
Okay.
If you want to call her, and she'll give you all kinds of advice. Her number is 954.
Okay.
584.
1 second. I'm sorry. I didn't have.
Sure.
Hold on
That's okay.
1 more sec. Okay. 954.
584.
584. Okay.
00000. But
okay.
to generically answer your question, because I know that she has done dozens and dozens of short sales that were also probate, there isn't a huge advantage to the heirs of doing it other than doing the right thing. A lot of them don't want to see mom and dad's home go to foreclosure, and they like to see a nice family move into it. Now, so that there isn't a huge incentive for them because the bank's not going to come after a deceased person for the balance. But unless there's a lot of equity in the estate, and that's pretty unlikely. But the upside is it's a really easy process for the heirs. It's not like a normal short sale where they got to fill out all kinds of financials. It's really just signing one document and providing proof that they're the executor, and that's it. And even if there's been two sales, give my wife a call. 90% of the time she can get the sale stopped. The lenders really don't want to take these properties back. If you give them any alternative, and one of the alternatives would be probably to find an investor real quick that would at least put an offer in to get the sale stopped, and she can help you with that.
Yeah, so I didn't because of my experience before with other short sales, and I haven't done that many of them, was and it wasn't with a probate situation. So the person wanted to do it to keep their their records, whatever they were trying to save their name. That I was told you need to put it on the market. Even if I could bring her an investor right now. And for the bank, it needed to legally go on. It needs to go on the market to see that you attempted to get the highest and best price.
That's exactly right. Pam will walk you through that whole process.
Yeah.
And the good news is the banks are often more willing to do these because they can't come back after the owner for any deficiency. So they would rather get this cleaned up and have a buyer than have to foreclose on it. So give her a call. If you don't have her number or anything, just email me, jim@alltheleads.com, and I'll give you her information. She'll be glad. And she doesn't take any of your commission. She doesn't charge anything up front.
Okay, so wait. So her name, it's Pam, you said, right?
Pam Sullivan, 954-584-0000.
And she's and you said she does a ton of short sales. She's an attorney?
Nope, she's it's a national short sale company. She's a third party, third party negotiator, Nationwide Short Sale Solutions.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you
so
much.
All right. Thank you so much, and thanks for allowing me to plug her. Go ahead.
No, that's awesome, and I really appreciate it. Just want to just say quickly that so far my experience, the customer service in the company has been phenomenal. I've been really very, very happy in the short time that I've been, working with you guys. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for contributing. We do have one more person in the queue, and we'll wind it up with this last person, and we'll wrap up close to the we just had one. We had one more jump in, so that'll be it, okay? The phone number ending in 1660 will make you last for the week. Next up is phone number ending in 9708. You're up next.
It's me again, it's Heather. So I was looking over my probate leads, and I was looking at the attorneys, and I noticed that one attorney I actually know personally actually had 2 deals on there, and whether or not they had a real estate agent already in mind or what have you, and it dawned on me that not just targeting the representatives, but maybe targeting on Facebook. I don't want to, dive too much, specifically, but I was just thinking as maybe a common, regular sort of like a COI type of thing. What are your thoughts on having targeted ads that maybe repeat to these specific attorneys? Now, I know a lot of attorneys don't have Facebook pages, and some of them are real private about it, but your thoughts.
So something I meant to circle back on when we were talking earlier. So in several markets, we're starting to see email addresses recorded for the attorneys. So they're putting it on public record. So that's a really good match field if you can, if you can set up a custom audience based on first name, last name, email, then you pretty much know you're getting right into that person's Facebook feed. And again, I would do a hyper-local video addressing their biggest problem. So, are you a probate attorney? Do your clients need help, stuff like that, and just kind of get their attention. I guarantee they've never seen that before. So it's a great idea. And I think that, you having the experience you have with Facebook, you're going to be able to execute it and test it quickly without, costing yourself a bunch of opportunities. So I say go do it.
Okay. And I have some feedback for you. The only thing I want to say about your ads on YouTube and on Facebook is that a lot of times it's text only and there's no voiceover on it. I know that I honestly got your ad, I don't know how many times before I actually started to pay attention to it. So, I just thought you might want to have voice on it. So
the idea there is to get you off of Facebook. So we use you're talking about the animated video?
Yes.
Yeah, so the idea...
Well, I think I saw it on YouTube several times, and I totally ignored it 18 times.
Yeah. So, we don't do a whole lot with audio because most people are watching video without sound right now. The idea is to create enough curiosity that you end up on the landing page where you can actually hear what that's where we want you to hear what we have to say. And so, I broke every rule in the handbook, and that ad has worked extremely well.
Okay.
And if you ever want to brainstorm and you need help setting up funnels, just put in a ticket or call the main line and ask for me. I'm happy to help you. Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Last up this week is phone number ending in 1660. You're last up. No pressure, but make it a great one.
Well, it's actually I almost feel stupid asking, but I'm going to. I use Mac and a Safari browser. I'm having a hard time navigating the website. Are you hearing this from anybody else?
No,
I like to think I'm pretty technological. Like, just even scrolling up and down the page, if I try to scroll up, it highlights everything. It seems like I didn't know if it was Safari, if I needed to change to Explorer or something different. Didn't know if you guys are hearing that.
We design for all major browsers, and we haven't. It's the first I've heard of it. Have you been able to duplicate the problem or notice that it doesn't exist using Chrome or Firefox?
I haven't tried the other two, and that I will go ahead and do that. But I just didn't know if anybody else was asking this question, and I know it's a simple, question, but it just seems like I've been having more difficulty every time I get on there, and it's getting worse and worse. And it could be my internet slow. I don't know what it is, but I know one time when I first joined, my leads were not popping up on the website, and they were like, "No, they're there." And so you all got on my computer via one of those remote deals, and that sure enough they weren't there. So I didn't know if it was just me or if you were hearing anybody saying, "Hey, we're having issues with this." So
it hasn't been an issue. I'll say this. I mean, we'll definitely help you troubleshoot it. The more details you can give us, the quicker we can fix it. So first step would be try it in both Firefox and Chrome and see if you can duplicate the problem. If you can, then either way, be really specific about exactly what you're seeing. So when I'm on this page and I do this happens. And that will help us track it down, and we can go look at the log, your activity log, and see exactly what's happening on your account. It's not likely, but it could be isolated just to your account.
Okay.
So,
well,
the more details you can give us, the better off we, the better we can track it down.
I just, and I know it's the end of the day, the call session, and I won't take no more time. I just thought if you guys heard of this or anyway, so.
No,
Yeah,
here's
I think
the other thing
go ahead.
I would ask that you do, and that is that if you're having that problem, if you can, when you're having that problem, if you'll pick up the phone and you'll call us, I'd love to have one of our tech support people have the opportunity to do a shared screen with you, and you can show us what's going on rather than tell us, and that way we get a better shot at helping you do it, because in 4+ years of doing this, this is the first time we've had this question, and I suspect it's potentially something on your end, but I don't want to say that without looking at it. So let us help you. Find when you're having a problem, call us while you're doing it. We'll screen share with you and we'll figure it out.
All right, sounds good, guys. I thank you for taking the call. Good night.
You're very welcome. And guys, thank you so much. We are finishing up just about on time. I want to thank everybody who showed up today. You took an hour out of your life. I want to especially thank everybody who participated. We will be announcing the winner of the week on the next call. And I want to close this call like I always do. You guys probably get tired of hearing it, but it's important. We had some great participation. We had some thoughts. We had some good ideas on these calls. Take one thing that you heard today, go out and put it into practice, and come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. And as Chad said, the next time we will talk to you is next Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern for our role play call. And then we'll talk to you same time next Thursday for this call. Make it a great week, guys. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you soon. Take care.